Just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option. Powering forward. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts, this time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them, and an absolute shock for the quarterback, because he went into it, he saw the numbers we saw, he watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be, but early in this one, advantage defense.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Here's Mond. And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown Vikings. Irv Smith Jr., his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings on just 2 plays have taken the lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games, because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going to try and throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They go play action with Hurts. Trucks over him. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll make this a second down. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Hurts. Smith catches left side. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Bond going to throw it. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a throw here to his running back. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. We're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere, the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media will start to obsess about it and wonder, can they take it all the way to an undefeated season?
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And this is caught by Watkins. 7 yards, the pickup there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Hurts gets this to Sanders. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Throwing is Hurts. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Sanders again. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to...
And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And that will force a turnover on downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And a fair catch is called for. He will take it in to give his guys some excellent field position here. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Complete. Smith has it. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big play there on the catch and run.
First and goal on the 6-yard line.
Here's Hurts to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3.
And they got him behind the goal line. Cook goes down for a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. That catch good for only a couple. They should have gotten more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. It cost himself some yardage.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! Chris Vikes with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Airing it out deep for Smith. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Zadarius Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Over the middle, complete. It's Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Play action. Here's Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
But the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
They'll look to throw again. That's swung out wide to Sanders. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash mark, this is a 43-yard attempt. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be. But halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Pulls it in at the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Second down and 8. Mon looks to throw. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that will make this a 19-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. Taken from about the 12. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Cook following the penalty. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Kevin Byard up to make the tackle. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Mon's throw complete there to Smith. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Third down from the gun, it's Mon. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cook pushing his way through. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play that time on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously... Touchdown, Vikings! Irv Smith Jr. with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. On play action, they'll throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just past the 35.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
That's some strong running. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the 1st half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Bond's going to keep this himself. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Now Mond. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a 1st down as he stopped at the 48.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot. Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the...
Hurts fumbles it. And the Vikings pick up the football. Does the big boy have the juice? And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. This will go as an 11-yard loss there on 1st and goal. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mond steps away. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, fourth quarter. You're going. On 4th down, Mon. And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown, Vikings. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. On the return, Williams. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as...
Hurts fumbles it. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone to the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It was actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 2nd and 9, Mond. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. As Sanders there with a first down carry that might have gotten a yard, if that. 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get up. To the 2-minute warning. They'll go right back to the Wangu. Finding room inside the 40. And some room to roam now. And he is finally taken down, but not before he gets it to the Eagles' 12-yard line. A big play there. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And the Vikings are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll look to run with Nwangu. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. On the return, Boston Scott. And able to get this out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw, as this play will stand as is. 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. Picked off down at the 10. And the Vikings have just about sewn up this football game. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it, and let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter, but a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they